Good morning, vlog, and welcome to episode 18 of DAILYCEE. And yes, I did finally get some sleep yesterday. I think I got a total of like 9-10 hours of sleep, so I feel much better today. But I wanted to spend a little bit of time today talking about something that's been a huge part of my life from a very young age, and it's this idea of self-image. I wanted to talk about self-image in a few different aspects today, not only in terms of the body or physical self-image, but also mental, emotional, intelligent, social, all those different types. But before we get into any of that, it's finally looking nice outside. It's just about 7 a.m., so let's just get this day rolling. You know, I am just so excited for when this quarantine ends, because I am just getting really bored of doing the same things over and over and over again throughout the day. Now, it's not bad to have like daily habits that are good for you, and the restrictions on going places, seeing people, just really limits my creative ability, especially for providing you guys with what I like to do normally throughout the day. So I'm just really excited for things to get back to normal, as I'm sure you are as well. Well, I was gonna do a nice thoughts on walks with Dakota, but it did end up raining, so we'll just talk about this from the comfort of inside. But what I think I want to talk about first in terms of self-image is people's idea of body self-image or physical self-image. Now, I think for me, this has been the most difficult aspect going through my entire life. As a young kid, especially around 12 to 15, I dealt a lot negatively with physical self-image. Back then, I was approximately 100 to 115 pounds around that age, which I'm pretty sure is pretty on the low side for that age group. And for my height, which is about, or back then, was 5'5", 5'6". And again, this was just my opinion back then. There could be people at that age, at that height, and at that weight that feel like everything is normal for them, and that's fantastic. But when I was at that time in my life, I just felt really ashamed for how skinny I was. Now, a lot of that had to do, again, with my home life, that we didn't always exactly have the right amount of food to eat. Now, I'm not trying to bag on my family or my home life too much. I just think that we were in a financial situation, especially where we just couldn't afford to always get a huge amount of food, and I did live with my 3 brothers, so trying to share food amongst 5 people at that time was just really difficult. Unfortunately, as far as I know, I didn't grow up too much with people that body shamed me or bullied me because I was too skinny, which I am just incredibly grateful for, and thankfully I surrounded myself with people that accepted me for who I was. Now, that doesn't mean I wasn't being made fun of for being a redhead. We can't win them all. But especially as I grew up, pushing from 16 on to even in my 20s, I really struggled with this negative mindset of my body image. I was always being told by family members, by friends, that, oh, Cam, you're really thin, or Cam, you're really skinny. And I didn't really start taking care of my body and working out until I was about 18. That's when I met my friend Justin, who had taught me how to lift in the weight room and taught me how to eat properly. And also when I met Johnny towards the latter half of my freshman year of college, he really put me into gear on nutrition, cardio, working out, just really focusing on physical health. Because when I was growing up, I played baseball my entire life. I ended up playing soccer. I was content with where I was. I was athletic, I was fast, I wasn't hungry as far as I could remember. And that even pushed into my later years, that and that's kind of what caused the problem, was that I grew up not eating as much, and I just got over those hunger pains that I was able to just go through an entire day and not eating that much at all. And now, of course, I had never been diagnosed with anything or no self-imposed eating disorder. I don't put myself into that category. But I do think that there was something there where I just wouldn't eat. I'm not too sure. I don't want to speculate on why that happened or how that happened, but that's kind of the root issue with this negative attitude towards body image. But now that I'm 24 years old, I've been working out pretty much actively every single day since I was 18. I think where I'm at in terms of my body image is much, much better. So I'm on a good day when I'm actually working out, not in the COVID 15 pound range. I'm about 185 to 190. But I think I'm finally where I should be. I think I've gained a lot more muscle and filled out a lot more and feel confident in the way I look. And if I'm speaking to anyone around that age group that is dealing with the skinny mindset that you're not big enough, that you're too small, that you're too thin, it's okay to feel that way. The way I got through it was putting yourself first, knowing that there is a problem, looking at yourself in the mirror, and if you feel that it's not okay, that you should change if you want. Like, only if you want, not if other people want it. So in terms of mental and emotional self-image, this is another aspect through life, especially in the later years from 16 on to even today. I still deal with mental and emotional issues, as you might be able to tell by the lack of eye contact when I talk about these things. Now, I think it's pretty fair to say that a lot of people around my age of 24 to 26 grew up in that late 90s, early 2000s time frame, deal with anxiety, depression. I think a lot of people deal with those things but just aren't confident to talk about them, which is totally okay. I didn't really feel confident about talking about these things until way later in life, 19, 20 years old. Again, I don't want to try and come off like an expert on psychology or how to deal with mental issues or emotional problems, but I just want to talk about what's worked best for me. But all the little things that I've done throughout the vlog to help with my anxiety, especially, and getting into negative thoughts and thought spirals that I just can't get out of, things like cleaning or studying or diving into a good book. Those are some of the things that have just helped distract me from some of the things that I just can't control, like those thoughts, like those emotions. So let's wrap this up with a little discussion on intellectual self-image. So if you guys did watch my video from 2 days ago on my book collection, you have noticed that I love collecting informational textbooks or informational books about biology, chemistry, science, education, information in general. So some have told me in the past, and I think I've come to terms with it, that sometimes I can come off as insecure about my own knowledge. That this has been a thought of mine for a while now, that perhaps I like to collect these books to make it look like I know a lot. Now trust me, I understand that I don't know all the information of the books that I have. I'm not trying to portray this image of, oh wow, this guy's a genius. He has so many textbooks and so many books of fiction. He must be so well read. No, I know that I'm not the most intelligent person out there. I know that I'm not the most cultured person out there with all the books that I have. I just love having them. I enjoy the act of collecting a book. I even love the smell of a book. Collecting books is just a passion of mine to have them. And yes, reading and understanding the knowledge within them is a huge benefit that I have gained over the years, but I think it does have a huge impact on my own intellectual self-image. Now, I can relate this to academics as well. I struggled a lot in college with being surrounded in my biology major in my education field by people that were much, much more intelligent and hardworking than I was. Now, this was definitely difficult to go through, and I think I dealt with a lot of insecurities during college, but my mindset has changed so much since this realization about judgment that if you don't feel like you're the most intelligent person, it just takes hard work. Buckle down, study what you want to study, find something you're passionate in, and become an expert in that. So many people put time and energy, usually negative, on being someone they're not. And that includes being smarter than you actually are. And finally, this whole idea of self-image just goes hand in hand with self-awareness. Being able to accept the person that you are, triple down on your strengths, not putting so much energy, emotion, and time into your weaknesses, just can really change how you feel about yourself. And that's what I want you watching, and for me as well, to be able to work on day in and day out. It's just being able to accept the person you are, thrive on what you're strong at, forget and don't dwell on the person that you're not, and things can just get so much better for you. So again, guys, those are just my thoughts on body, mental, emotional, and intellectual self-image. And honestly, my little bit of advice, if you would like to take it, is just work on being confident in who you really are and only worry about yourself. Don't base your thoughts on yourself on the opinions or expectations of others, whether that be in any of the aspects that we talked about in today's video. But that is gonna do it for me today on episode 18 of DAILYCEE. If you have any comments about thoughts from today's video, if you want to share your experience, kind of create a dialogue in the comments below, let me know, please. I'd love to learn your stories and talk with you guys about it. If you guys are new, please don't be afraid to subscribe. I do put out videos every single day. It is DAILYCEE, and I thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys tomorrow, and as always, have a good rest of your day.